Tato Kato, good evening. A report into recent dawn raid tactics on migrant overstayers has slammed the government's historic apology to the Pacifica community for past abuses as hollow.
It says to truly end the practice of raiding homes after hours, the law needs to change. But as political reporter Amelia Wade explains, the Immigration Minister says that's just not possible before the election.
2 years ago, the government stood in front of the Pacifica community and said, "We are sorry for the discrimination and the trauma of the dawn raids in the 70s.
My deepest acknowledgements and respect for all those who are directly affected by the harms caused during the dawn raids."
What was missing, we will stop.
The first word that comes to mind is tokenistic. If you're really sorry about something and you end up using another culture's beautiful practices to express your sorrow, you better damn well make sure that it's sincere.
In April, a Tongan overstayer working in construction was arrested at dawn in front of one of his kids. Pakilau Manase Lua was a child of the dawn raids.
You had a government who apologised for it and then just did it again. To the very people who they were apologising to. It was very re-traumatising.
Yes, I am sorry. I am regretful.
I absolutely apologise for causing distress within the community.
Michael Heron KC was called in for a review. He found since the dawn raids apology in 2021, 34 people were deported as a result of raids after hours. 3 were Pacifica, most were Chinese.
This latest activity has been called akin to the dawn raids. Do you accept that?
No, I don't. I think the dawn raids were a particular style of activity.
Heron was scathing of the government for not changing its ways, saying, "We agree with the Pacifica community that an apology for behaviour, aspects of which continue after the apology, does appear to ring hollow, especially because top leadership attended the apology in person."
At the time of the apology, we did do quite a bit of work internally, just talking about the apology.
But nothing actually changed. Immigration says it was because at the time of the apology, Auckland was in lockdown. I
suspect it's by way of explanation, it just reduced in terms of prioritisation.
I'm very regretful that the action wasn't taken to change guidelines.
Changing its practices is now a priority.
Today, we expect all interactions of our officers to be conducted in a professional and respectful manner.
When you're trying to detain someone at 6 in the morning and take them out of their own home, that's a dawn raid.
Telling the government, actions speak louder than words.
Kia ora, Amelia. So what's the timeline for change at Immigration New Zealand?
These tactics have been reviewed, and while that process was underway, they have been paused. There is an expectation that there will be new practices in place come October. It is likely that enforcement teams will still be able to reach for this because in times of public safety, they do need to do so. But one of the key recommendations from the report was to enshrine in law how and when these tactics are used, that they are a last resort, and, for example, that they need a search warrant. But the Immigration Minister says the runway is now far too short before the election. Of course, if officials and ministers thought about doing this work at the time of the apology, then none of this hurt and re-traumatisation would have happened.
Amelia Wade live from Parliament. Tēnā koe.